Hey guys, it's been a while since I made some videos. I've been extremely busy as usual, but I wanted to have this controversial discussion with people and just clarify some air. So without further ado, let me get started. I watch a lot of videos and I support a lot of individuals that are in their grind to do their entrepreneurship and to give advice. But I think there's a fine line between giving right advice and wrong advice, and one has to be really cognizant and aware of that, especially with the internet. So I'm gonna only take these names just because I follow these guys, or I listen to these guys just having their opinions. There's an individual called Jorge Navarro who's a network member at Engineer Academy, and he's a great guy. And he had a video on how you don't need school. And then there's also Gary Varucci, who's a really good entrepreneur, very successful entrepreneur, and he goes on a rant and saying that school is idiotic and uses the F word and whatnot. And I respect both of them, but I have a completely dissenting opinion. I think they're wrong in many cases in that, and I'm just here to present my opinion. I don't think school is an all be all. School does not make you intelligent, doesn't make you anything, but what it puts you is to a standardized system. School, as Gary says, the school is good if you're trying to be a operator, of a Kellogg division, but it's more than that. And the problem is that people don't understand that people take all these examples of Zuckerberg, or they're individuals that dropped out. They dropped out of MIT. MIT is one of the top pioneer schools. I mean, your ACT and SAT scores have to be huge in order to just get into MIT. Another person on social media said that, well, 14% of employees in Google don't even have a college degree. Yeah, that's 14%. The sample size is really small. What these guys are not understanding is school is a system of teaching you stuff. For example, all these guys that say that, oh, well, why do we need school? I bet a lot of them didn't know how to calculate sales tax. How did they learn that? How did they learn basic math? How did they learn basic functionality of math, or what are functions, or what are derivatives? And you might say, well, we don't use them. Yeah, you don't use them if you're an accountant, or maybe if you are a artsy person, but you definitely use it if you're an engineer, and Jorge is an engineer. That's a problem with people. People want to take shortcuts in life. And that's not fair. It's not fair for a person that goes through there's a reason why Stanford, MIT are known to have a great 4 years of computer science program, and I'll dwell into that later. But you cannot say that school does not have a reasoning. I went to DePaul University 4 years. I put a lot. It's an investment. I put a lot of money, and I didn't learn a lot. I really didn't. But what it did is build a foundation for me. It built a foundation for me to get better in other things and aspects of life. For instance, my writing, my syntax, my grammar drastically improved, even though I was an MIS major. So yeah, school's not all be-all solution. Doesn't make you intelligent, but it gives you a standardized process to be successful in an institutionalized system. You don't have to be smart to be successful in America. You just have to be hardworking, or you have to pass through that. So that's one biggest flaw I see when they say they don't need school. And the second biggest problem I have when people go, like Jorge says, well, you don't need, I'm a high school dropout. Well, yeah, but look at the requirements of any university. 4 years of university, there in any requirement for an organization, you need 4 years of school to go through that. And that's because corporations in America they want well-rounded people. They don't want one guy who cannot write documentation but can configure a router or can program. I mean, as one-dimensional you think your job is, it is not. They need some people that are well-rounded, that can speak, that can go to client meetings. If you're a systems consultant and you're going to Accenture and Aon and you cannot speak one word of English, what is the point? That's why they don't outsource it to those people, or that's why they have meetings and they have a salesperson or they have a solutions architect. And you're missing the point on that. The second thing, I think there's a huge discrepancy between a person who takes a CCNA course or a programming course of 8 weeks and a person that goes to MIT or Stanford or even DePaul University and does a computer science program of 4 years. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. 8 weeks is not enough. 8 weeks is not enough for you to learn stuff. You need years and years and years. I got my CCNA, I got my CCNP, and I still think I'm not the best networker. Still, I think I have to learn so much just to grasp everything because there's so many topics. For example, you can know that the routing protocol uses a XYZ logarithm. But guess what? If you took that 8-week course, you don't even know what the hell an algorithm is because you have not gone to math. You have not understand the functionality of derivatives. So yes, in essence, you don't know what you're talking about. You just know that, well, you don't need it for the job. I get that. But not everything is a job. Sometimes things are knowledge and matter and syntax, and people are missing the point. the problem is the people that also speculate going back to school. That's saying, oh, I don't need school. Like I taught at Westwood, and this was hilarious, by the way. Taught at Westwood, and my students would come to me and say, oh, school is BS and blah blah blah. Well, the guys that say school is BS, they can't even calculate sales tax, or they don't even know how to configure a command line. Nor were they eager enough or curious enough to set up a whole infrastructure, network equipment on their own home, or even just get a free emulation that you could have gotten online and practice commands with that. So people get lazy. People get lazy and then they blame school. Where in real life, school is just a 20% or 30% of your harnessing of your personal development. I respectfully disagree with anyone that says that. I know school is not all solution. It's not the end-to-end solution, but what it does is builds a foundation. And if you don't have that foundation, good luck finding a $120,000 job, because that's BS. The sample size is so low for that. All these guys that even tell you that, oh, well, you can get this certification or you can get a PMP certification and make 150. No company's gonna give you that much because you're not well-rounded. They want someone to do everything. I mean, everything is being automated in such an essence that, well, if you can't configure something, but you cannot speak proper English, good luck finding that job because they won't give it to you. I think it's an illusion that people get trapped into. Take my advice, go through a 4-year university. You don't have to have a computer science program, but at least do something. Have a 4-year degree so you have a fallback option if your entrepreneurship doesn't work. And it's a requirement, guys. It's a requirement in all organizations, a requirement by the government. It's called the LCAT requirement that makes you go to an insular system. And lastly, there's a reason why immigrants from Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, or any Asian subcontinent come here and do a even master's year. Because again, they get a ticket. They get a ticket to coming to America. And if you don't take this education as a privilege, or if you don't even see it as an investment, then you're not thinking right. It's an investment. Just like your house is an investment, you're putting, mortgage payments. Education is an investment. It's a long-term investment. Invest in it. It's one of the best decisions you can do. Thank you so much.